Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again for another video of Pendragon on Blackwing Lair, and this time we'll be discussing the real boss of Blackwing Lair, the Labpacks. So Fireball, you're gonna be there in a second, but first we're gonna discuss these very annoying packs over here. These packs exist out of a couple of mob types. You have the Blackwing Warlocks. They cast random rain of fire on an area, move out of it. They cast AoE shadow bolts on anyone in range, crazy damage. And these guys need to die first. So there's usually like 2 per pack, and these need to be killed very fast by your melee, and they need to be tanked as well. So these are the first primary targets for the melee damage and your tanks. Now, there's also these goblins. These goblins all share the same aggro table. So what that means is if you have most threat on this goblin, you have most threat on every single goblin. So if you're a melee, by the way, these guys throw dynamite, which deals crazy AoE damage, and if you have 6 of them throw it on you, that's a lot of damage on you and around you. So if you're all melee and you're killing these guys, and you're a top DPS melee and you get aggro, you're gonna delete every melee around you. So this is not a mob for the melee to fight. What you want to do is you want to have a hunter. First of all, before you start doing these packs, by the way, you need space. So what you want to do after killing this boss, if you disarm a trap and clear the whelps, they don't respawn, right? So you want to clear maybe like half this room still after the third boss, and once you have that, you can start moving to the fresh. What you do then is you let a hunter pull a goblin, right? He's gonna line of sight it, so you pull, you shoot, you line of sight, and he's gonna kite it back here. And then I want all the mages and the warlocks and all the ranged DPS, they're gonna be somewhere in the middle, preferably spread out, so that if you get aggro from dynamite, you don't delete everyone, including yourself. And the hunter will pull it back, maybe behind that's the alcove over there. And then one mage will start spamming arcane explosion around the goblins. Try to get aggro, and once he has aggro, what you can do, maybe I can try to show it actually. I'll just aggro the pack so you can see everything. So, first we have the warlocks. Shadow Bolt is AoE, so it hits everyone. You can't interrupt it. You see the goblins throwing the grenades as well. There goes the rain of fire as well. It's random, no cast times, just don't stand in it. So what you want to do, hunter pulls. All these mobs will run around the corner. You have your tanks, pick up the warlocks, tank them, melee start killing them. Let me just delete the warlocks. So warlocks deleted. So let's pretend again it's the pool. Let me just bring these goblins over here. Your hunter pulls. The goblins come past. Nobody should get aggro on the goblins, right? So the hunter should probably also at least shoot the goblins while running and maybe distracting shot them to themselves, or I don't know how hunter works. Basically, you want to keep aggro on these. And what you see, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to run in a circle. And you see that these goblins are very stupid and they're throwing the grenades at the wrong spot. So what you can do as a mage once you get aggro is you just start running around, and these things do 0 damage anymore if you do it properly. So just kite them around. If someone takes aggro from you, they start running around. Don't stand in their circle, and these mobs will not kill anyone anymore, ever. These Labpacks are super easy if you know what to do. So let me just delete those. Oh, let's get some epics. Why not? Let's move on, because these are not the only types of mobs in these packs. So the rest of the Labpacks can also have the Blackwing Spellbinder. And this is a caster who is immune to spell damage, so ranged spell damage DPS, don't bother with this guy. I'll mark him for easier vision. He doesn't do that much, except hit hard and cast Flame Strike. Flame Strike is basically AoE fire damage around you, and he always casts that on the guy who's tanking him. So what you want to do is you want, as a tank, to pull him, get aggro, go max range for your melee swing. So here's the mob. DPS behind him, and then the tank gets hit by the flame strike, and the DPS will never get hit by the flame strike because of the range difference. And then you just nuke that mob down. And because of his AoE damage, you kinda want to tank him aside away from the rest of the raid. So what I would do is you pull those packs over here. Tank the Spellbinder here. The other mob that I'll explain in a moment, you tank it over here, and then you just deal with the goblins and the warlocks over here and over here, so you have space. The other mob we still need to talk about is this one. It's the Death Talon Overseer. You want him solo tanked as well, and you probably want to kill this guy last of the entire pack because he is the least threat to the raid. He does AoE cleave in front of him, so don't stand in front of him unless you're the tank. And he's vulnerable from a certain type of magic. Now in Classic you cannot see this debuff, but here you can. So for example, this guy is very vulnerable to nature damage, and he will literally take like 1000% extra damage from it, and less damage from the other class types of magic. So if you're a mage or a lock or whatever, you want to see if your abilities are amplified and do more damage to him, and then you say, look, he's vulnerable to shadow, and then people can go ham with shadow or fire or frost or whatever. And over here, that's the final type of thrash pack you can get. You have 3 of those. So, for example, this one is vulnerable to arcane. We have one for frost, nature again, one for fire. So in Classic you don't see this, you have to find out which one's vulnerable to what. But basically assign a tank to each of these and start killing these small ones first, and you can potentially stack them, just be careful of the cleave. And this guy, the Wormguard, does an AoE stun. So don't mass ham on him from the start. Maybe as a tank do a free action potion and position him away and build your threat on it and kill him last. Because if what we did the first time is I'll go ham on him, he just went loose because the tank got stunned and started clapping all the healers and the range DPS. Don't do that. And basically that's the lab pack trash all the way up to the end up there, where the bosses after Final are. And the one thing you should still know, there's a smelter NPC, I think it's called Chrysix. If you mind control him, you can teach miners to smelt elementium. So make sure you mind control him, don't just nuke him down. That would be a waste. Alright, that's it for the lab packs. Let's move on to the video for Firemail.